Right, YouTube, hello, welcome. What's up? Yeah, the room is 80% clear. I suppose I should really tell you what I'm doing in this room, what the plan is, and why it's been like this. So let's start with the backstory. We bought the place, Aaron Place it's called, in July 2022, and when we first bought the place, the first kind of month or so of moving in, trying to think of some plans of what we wanted to do to the house, we had a bit of an issue with this room, and I will go into some depth in another video, probably titled something like Our Victorian House Renovation, What We've Done in 2.5 years, which is not a lot. So the beginning of this room, it was oak, solid oak tongue and groove flooring. It's got this weird 2-doorway system because the room upstairs, which is Monica's jewellery room, used to be kind of like a mini lounge for the previous owners, one of their kids, so they had a bedroom and their own lounge, and it was kind of in this wing, partially self-contained. So there was a couple of built-in wardrobes along this wall here. One of my first jobs when we moved in was to go around and rip out all of the built-in wardrobes because they'd been here for like 30 years and they were horrible and they were not very nicely done, and they just, I suppose that they were in weird places for each room. So in this room we ripped out the wardrobe, and I think that there was a bit of damp on the wall or something that we'd seen, and I'd started to take some of the thermoboard off this back wall, and to our massive surprise we discovered this ginormous ant's nest, and there were thousands and thousands of ants, and we were absolutely terrified. I think Monica and I, we spent most of the day hoovering them up, pouring boiling hot water on them, and they just kept coming and kept coming, and there must have been some old external flue pipe or something. We were still really discovering stuff about the house, and we're in an extension right now that we don't really know when it was built, and it was all just really odd that the surveyor hadn't picked up on any of the damp or any of the issues. And when we actually went outside on the neighbour's property to have a look at the exterior gable wall, we discovered that the blockwork had never been rendered since it had been built. So that was one of the very first things to get done. We got a team of guys in to put a fresh render coat on, seal everything up, direct any water flow away from the building and down drains that are on the neighbour's side of the property, where they've got like a small concrete patio. Now the wall here behind us, we believe, is actually the original exterior garden boundary wall. To this side, probably to around here, where we've got the pitch ceiling, the ground level next door is about 10 foot higher than what this floor is. So we believe that they extended this wing of the house up until that boundary wall, block built above it, and then never rendered the block. So that was all sealed up, and we left it for a few months to dry and to make sure that nothing was going to happen to it, that there was no more water coming in or nothing else coming in. And then gradually it kind of just became a bit of a dumping ground. We'd been in the house then probably, I don't know, between 3 and 6 months, and the room upstairs, which is now Monica's jewellery making room, was also it was a right state. And you know, just logically thinking, start upstairs, do the staircase, leave the landing, and then we can do this room afterwards, and then we don't have to take any materials up newly finished stairs and landing and all that kind of stuff. So we did the room upstairs. This was still a dumping ground, and it was due to be the next part of the house to be renovated, but it just became a dumping ground again. Then we made the decision that actually we were going to renovate our master bedroom, floor to ceiling, everything new, with a new ensuite as well. Ripped out the old ensuite, rebuilt the new ensuite, new ceiling, new decorative trim work to go with the Victorian style, new flooring. It was a mammoth job, and it took me 10 to 12 months, working weekends and evenings when I could. And then we've been, I don't know, 4 or 5 months on from completing that room, or 95% completing that room, and I've just kind of been doing some other projects and stuff like that. And it's about time now, you know, we're early January, that it's time to get this room cleared and to do some work to get this room to where it wants to be. Now, we're actually going to be shrinking this room, this weird dog leg that we've got and this secondary door below the staircase. We're actually going to stud that off, and we're going to turn that into a utility room and storage cupboard for this room, because this house doesn't have a dedicated utility space. It's just got a washing machine in the kitchen, and it's not even a washer dryer. We could change it for a washer dryer, but I don't like the idea of having the washing machine in the kitchen. And we've got plans obviously to renovate the kitchen at a later date. We want a dedicated utility space where it's going to be an up and down washer dryer and just a small cabinetry, countertop, that kind of thing, for all of the laundry, so it can all live in there. And then this will essentially be bedroom number 3, which is actually going to be the guitar / music studio room. And that's what we're going to turn it into. We're going to turn it into a very small music studio that can be doubled up as a bedroom, either for our future children or for someone else whenever it is that we sell the property and move on. Now, it's not a massive room as it is, but that's what it is. I think it's more important to have a separate utility space that's not in the kitchen, that's self-contained, and then have like a little storage cupboard attached to this room. And yeah, so we can just kind of go through some of the things that need to be done. So this ceiling, there's only one problem with this. They didn't put any insulation in between the floors in this property. There is no insulation anywhere in the house, and that has been one of my biggest bugbears, that the surveyor never picked up on any of, well, the lack of insulation anywhere, which is really, really frustrating. So as we're going through room by room doing what we need to do, we are insulating everywhere properly, so that we've got the peace of mind that it's done correctly for however long that we stay here, and that we can really say to whoever the next owners are of the property that it is brought up to modern standards and to modern code. So we're going to take the ceiling down, and then we're going to insulate, and then we're going to put a new ceiling back up, and it's ridiculous because of the cost of plasterboard, the time of having to actually do it, and then plastering. It's ludicrous for such a simple thing, but it will be absolutely worth it, especially considering that this is going to be a music room. It's not a massive deal not to do it, because it's not a bedroom upstairs, it's just Monica's jewellery room. So I suppose I have a decision to make.
Of course. Of course they did. What the fuck is that? Yeah, that's right. Well, that's Artex, so it's probably asbestos, so I don't
Oh
think...
no, it's potentially, it depends when it is. Obviously you see that bit that's already cut out there above it. I didn't cut that out.
No.
I've just cut out this square. Out. Go on, out.
Out.
We have to take both layers of plasterboard down and then put all the stuff up.
Is it worth it? Don't forget, this isn't our forever house. And if anyone's ever sleeping in here, it might just mean they need to have the rad on for an extra half an hour than you would normally do.
I think we'll just put that fucking bit back up and save all the fucking hassle.
Yeah, and don't forget,
It
it's
just means
also...
it's probably going to just be a little bit more noisy, but whatever.
What, noisy going
Okay,
upstairs
yeah, going upstairs
when you're playing?
Yeah, but obviously I can't put anything up above there. But we can just make sure that that wall there is really well insulated going into the utility space. This entire bit. So that will stop sound transference going in that way.
It would have been better doing it from above when we did that flooring.
We couldn't though, because we would have had to rip up that entire subfloor. Remember, I tried to get that subfloor up anyway.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it just wasn't going. It was glued down as well as screwed down. The good news is, the roofing felt that's across there is in really good condition.
Nice.
The boss has spoken. Right, it's the next evening. That old patchwork will be dry. But I'm not going to fill and patch all that now because I've got a bunch of other holes that also need patching. So I'm going to leave that for a little while. But to build this stud-work wall, we're going to build a new face on here as well. I'm going to try and maintain this original door, but this entire door lining and architrave, the whole thing's got to come out. So we're going to give that a go right now. Just weighty. it would be nice if this is a hardwood door. Pine. Yeah. Definitely pine, Doug fir, something like that. So, oh well. Could have been better. Yeah, but it's not industrial. It's a bit shoddy. Oh, no way! We've got a discovery.
People leave hidden things in building materials?
Yeah, Easter egg. This entire face is going to have to come down. All of this in here is going to have to come down, and then we'll batten out from here 20-30 mil for the plasterboard to sit on. The door lining will fit flush with the finished plasterboard, and then on this side we'll do the same thing. We might lose 2 or 3 inches, or maybe 2 inches on the inside of this hallway, where we're going to have to put a new plasterboard face on, but that's okay, because it's just a hallway. But it's a bit of a mess. It's just the random pieces of brickwork and block and mortar. It leaves a lot to be desired. That's all we've got time for in this week's episode of What the Hell is Going On with this Victorian house renovation, restoration, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Hopefully in the next video we're going to have a bunch of timber and we can start studying out this wall and figuring out where our level is going to be. Thank you very much. Please leave a comment down below. Please like, subscribe, share, do whatever you need to do. But most of all, thank you very much. See ya.